Uncertainty on Wall Street with stock market volatility, but Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent downplayed concerns.
President Trump creates what I would call strategic uncertainty in the negotiations. So he is more concerned about getting the best possible trade deals for the American people.
Bessent says he expects more certainty to come as trade deals are announced. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
Meanwhile, Canadians last night kept Liberal Prime Minister Mark Carney in power. Now, Carney is the former governor of both the Bank of Canada and the Bank of England, and he came into power in March after former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau resigned. Political experts believe President Trump's rhetoric about annexing Canada and placing stiff tariffs on the country paved the way for the Liberals' victory. Here at home, an update now on the search for a missing kayaker off Hawaii Island. The Coast Guard now says Jared Williford is not wearing orange pants as first reported. Officials say a security camera confirmed that his orange pants were still attached to his kayak, which was found about 400 yards off the Keauhou boat ramp on Sunday, without him in it. Williford's truck and trailer were still at the boat ramp. Also on Hawaii Island, police are asking you to keep a lookout for this woman, 47-year-old Nicole Bullock. Now, she's been reported missing after she was last seen Friday in Hilo. It's believed she may need medical attention. Nicole is 5'8", about 170 pounds, with long brown hair, green eyes, and floral tattoos on both arms. If you see her, call Hawaii PD at the number on your screen. Two busy days are expected at the state capitol. The state legislature plans its final votes of the session today and tomorrow. Senate Bill 1044 is up for a vote. It sets up state-sponsored commercial and hurricane insurance policies. Now, the policies will be generated by the Hawaii Property Insurance Association, and the bill hopes to spread out the risk until the market is stable enough to lure commercial insurers back. And Governor Green is celebrating a decision by lawmakers to increase tourist taxes and dedicate the money to what they call Hawaii's climate emergency. The money hopes to restore beaches or buy out threatened shoreline properties, as well as harden infrastructure to resist powerful storms. Lawmakers are looking to raise up to $100 million a year by putting a new tax on cruise line cabins and increasing the hotel room tax from 9.25% to 10%.
We were worried that the industry wouldn't be able to handle that big of a jump, and we also didn't want too much negative press, globally or even, nationally, about having extremely high tourism taxes at a time of economic uncertainty for a lot of people on the mainland.
This is the money that we've been waiting for to deal with climate change. So I'm grateful, like I said, I'm grateful that the legislature, after working through this for 2 years, has given me a bill which I will sign.
The climate change tax will be among about 200 bills facing final votes tomorrow. And gun safety advocates will rally at the state capitol again this afternoon to push for an assault weapons ban. Lawmakers will decide whether to approve the ban of semi-automatic rifles during the final vote this week. Senate Bill 401 would also ban semi-automatic shotguns with magazines larger than 10 rounds. Well, happening now, an estimated $70 million U.S. fighter jet has been lost in the Red Sea. The Navy says the plane fell off an aircraft carrier deployed in the Middle East. Sam Brock joins us now with what we know so far.
This morning, a supersonic fighter jet, described as the backbone of the U.S. Navy carrier Air Wing, has been lost at sea. The roughly $70 million aircraft had been aboard the USS Harry S. Truman aircraft carrier in the Red Sea. The Navy says the FA-18 Super Hornet was actively under tow in the hangar bay when the move crew lost control of the aircraft. The aircraft and tow tractor were lost overboard. The government adding the sailors towing the aircraft took immediate action to move clear of the aircraft before it fell overboard. An investigation is underway. It's not clear what caused the loss of control, but Iranian-backed Houthi rebels Monday claimed they launched a drone and missile attack on the Truman in retaliation, they say, for deadly U.S. strikes in Yemen. Jack Jacobs is a retired U.S. Army colonel.
If the aircraft carrier is under fire and is making a hard turn, one can envision that the aircraft that's being towed to lose control and for it to fall overboard.
Jacob says that kind of evasion for the more than 1,000-foot-long, 200 million pound carrier would be delicate, but not impossible.
Envisioning something that large to conduct an evasive maneuver against a Houthi missile attack or drone attack, it's difficult to envision that, but it can do that.
The Truman was deployed to the Middle East as part of a weeks-long campaign aimed at preventing Houthi attacks on commercial ships in the region. The carrier has been involved in several incidents in recent months, including a collision in February with a merchant ship near Egypt, to another FA-18 from the Truman being mistakenly shot down by the USS Gettysburg in the Red Sea back in December, with both pilots ejecting safely. Monday's loss, Jacob says, is not an insignificant one.
And it's hard to say exactly how much this aircraft was worth, but losing any aircraft is a big blow.
And that's Sam Brock reporting. Authorities in Illinois are trying to figure out what caused a driver to slam into an after-school program on Monday, killing 4 people ranging in age from 7 to 18 years old. 6 other children were taken to area hospitals, one of them in critical condition. Authorities say a car left a road, crossed a field, and plowed through multiple people before continuing through the building. State police said the driver is a resident of the town and is not in custody after being evaluated at the hospital. They say this does not appear to be a targeted attack, and the investigation continues. A tragedy caught on video as a yacht crashed into a ferry off Florida, killing 1 and seriously injuring at least 10 others. The ferry had been carrying 45 people near Tampa on Sunday, and of those injured, most suffered from broken bones, head injuries, and cuts. Officials found the yacht a few miles away. They say the captain took a breathalyzer that showed he had not been drinking. And the lights are back on in most of Spain and Portugal today. A major blackout brought much of the countries to a standstill yesterday. It halted subways, railways, and airports, along with phone services, traffic lights, and ATMs for millions of people. Portuguese leaders say there was no sign the outage was due to a cyber attack.
And happy Tuesday, everybody. Let's take a look outside from our tower cam out towards the reef runway. Right now, we're seeing temperatures around 81 degrees, a little bit of cloud cover in the skies throughout the rest of this evening. Still got a chance for those afternoon showers, very similar to what we were seeing yesterday. So breaking down the first alert radar and satellite, you can see we've got a little bit of moisture across the state. Most of it is off to the north of us right now. You can see some activity. Earlier, we were actually seeing some lightning in the cells that are just to the north, but a lot of the rainfall has been along the Ko'olau this afternoon and this morning on Oahu. So just zooming in a little bit closer, most of it is focused over near Waimanalo, Kailua, Maunawili, and Kaneohe, and moving up towards the northern portions of the Ko'olau. We've been seeing some rainfall along Kamehameha Highway up towards the North Shore, a few sprinkles over near Wahiawa as well. However, in town and over the leeward portions of the island, been relatively quiet, but as we go forward throughout the rest of this afternoon, we're going to be seeing some pop-up showers and potentially a few rumbles of thunderstorms as well. Over on Maui County, seeing some showers over on Lanai and over near Makena State Park on Maui, and then also on Hawaii Island, a few rumbles a few showers as well. Kauai relatively dry, but again, we could see some pop-up showers throughout the rest of this afternoon. I'll give you the full breakdown on this and my full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Drew. First-round draft pick and Hawaii native Teitairoa McMillan is now at his new home with the Carolina Panthers. The 8th overall pick is the first Hawaii-born player since Tuatonga Vailoa in 2020 to be taken in the first round. Before flying out last night, he told us he was enjoying some rest and relaxation on the beach with his family.
It's been hectic the last 4 months, really, but you know, just being able to find, finally being over, the draft process being over, finally knowing what team I get to play for, what jersey I get to put on, and, you know, just kind of taking a step away and just enjoying it with my family. You know, it's a big moment not only for me, but for my family. You know, at the end of the day, those are the people that have invested in me, you know, have took the time out to make sure that I'm the best person and I'm the best player that I need to be. So obviously I wouldn't be here without them. And, you know, it's always a good time to just come back home and chill and just enjoy the weather, enjoy the water, enjoy family.
Now, McMillan tells us the last thing he needed to eat before taking off for North Carolina was macadamia nut pancakes from Boots and Chemos. And a reminder, it's game time on Hawaii Island tomorrow night. We'll have live coverage of the D1 and D2 Boys Volleyball Championships. You can catch all the action starting tomorrow night at 5 on K5 and, of course, on our website, hawaiinewsnow.com. Well, ahead on This Is Now, a homecoming celebration for our new Miss Aloha Hula and Kauai's beloved Hula Halau. We'll take you to the garden aisle in 2 minutes. Plus this.
The White Lotus travel effect is real, increasing interest in the regions and resorts where the series has been filmed, including right here in this suite. I'm Wendy Gillette on the island of Maui in Hawaii, where it all started.
Welcome back. The Merrie Monarch Festival is over, but small businesses continue to feel the economic boost on Hawaii Island. Thousands of people came to Hilo for the festival, and while the focus was on hula, many were there to shop. Hundreds of vendors set up at the event, and the festival makes up a significant portion of their annual income.
Some people, this is like 90% of their annual income in 1 week. You know, that's how big of an event this is.
But this year is probably the best year we did so far. I'd say about double the amount we sold.
Mayor Kimo Alameda estimates the festival brings in millions of dollars to the island's economy each year, with restaurants, stores, hotels, and rental car companies all seeing more business. A homecoming celebration for Kauai's beloved halau. Chanting and cheers filled the Lihue airport as the men and women of Halau Kale Mokihana o Lenaala arrived back home on Kauai last night, including our new Miss Aloha Hula, Jaden Pavao. The group, led by Kumu Lenaala Pavao Jardine, were welcomed by family, friends, and supporters with lei and hugs. Well, Maui's beauty was featured in the first season of HBO's hit show, The White Lotus. Now, the series has also taken viewers to the coasts of Italy and Thailand. And as Wendy Gillette reports, the show is driving new interest for travelers looking for an exotic getaway.
If meditative music, unusual and exotic spa treatments, stunning sunsets, and blended tropical drinks look familiar, Perhaps you watched season 3 of The White Lotus.
It's a wellness center.
But this is the real deal with no murder or mayhem. Kamalaya Koh Samui, a wellness sanctuary in Thailand, less than 15 miles from the Four Seasons on the island where most of season 3 was filmed.
Koh Samui is a very healing place. You have a lot of yoga places, detox, fitness center, Muay Thai. It's not like a random island where, you know, people just come and go.
And they're all expecting a wave of interest generated by the hit show. Data from the airfare search engine Skiplagged shows after season 3 premiered, searches for Thailand flights surged as much as 50%.
I think it's good for Samui.
There was a similar effect after season 2, mostly filmed at the Four Seasons in Taormina, Italy. Data from the luxury travel network Virtuoso found bookings for the entire region of Sicily shot up more than 400%.
But it all started here with the first season of The White Lotus, filming in this suite and other locations at the Four Seasons Maui when it was shut down during COVID. Back then, no one had any idea how successful the series would be, driving stays at the resort.
In season 1, we had a 425% increase in website availability checks. And in season 3, we've actually seen in the same time period 135% increase in bookings.
Four Seasons is capitalizing, announcing a private jet World of Wellness itinerary based on the show, with stops at all 3 resorts in Thailand, Italy, and Hawaii next May. The resort in the Wailea area of Maui also unveiled a pop-up White Lotus bar and pool cabana, available until next month. At Kamalaya, where we stayed for a special rate, the White Lotus effect is stirring over tourism concerns. Here, traditional healing is combined with more modern treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
Over tourism hopefully won't happen, but you know, if there's a balance, it'll be good.
A balance of more guests who still achieve the peace they're seeking. Wendy Gillette, CBS News.
And stick around. Coming up after the break, I'll give you a look at our first alert 7-day forecast. Again, afternoon rain today, hazy tomorrow, trades by Thursday and Friday.
First Alert Weather with Drew Davis.
Well, happy Tuesday, everybody. A very similar forecast today compared to what we were seeing yesterday. Afternoon rainfall, maybe a few rumbles of thunder out there. And of course, we're also tracking some fog. Let's take a look at our First Alert radar and satellite out there. I just want to break down again what we're seeing island by island. A lot of the activity has been to the north of the island chain. Earlier, we were seeing very sporadic lightning strikes just to the north of us. But zooming in a little bit closer to Oahu, most of the rainfall over the last last hour at least has been along the Ko'olau and the windward portions of the island. Just pointing out again, rainfall over in Waimanalo, moving over Kaneohe and Kailua, and along the northern portions of the Ko'olau as well. We're also seeing a few pop-up showers right over near Haleiwa. And just moving over to Kauai, it's been relatively dry so far. Some cloud cover on the satellite. Yesterday we did have a flood advisory on the northern portions of the island. Again, we don't see the full picture of the Kauai radar because it's actually blocked by the Mauka areas to its north. Some rainfall over Lanai and Lanai City, and Maui seeing a few sprinkles as well. And then Hawaii Island, it's been sporadic. It's not as much rainfall as what we were seeing yesterday. A quick look at our first alert weather pattern. I want to break down the first alert futurecast. You can see throughout the rest of this afternoon, we still have the chance for these pop-up afternoon showers. That's going to continue throughout this afternoon, and you'll notice the rainfall, at least on the model, is mostly heavy over the islands. It's the heaviest over the islands. When we see light winds like this, we typically see these pop-up afternoon showers. A lot of instability in the atmosphere as well. Wednesday afternoon, we're starting to see the trade winds return, a more typical trade wind pattern. Windward and Mauka showers expected heading into the weekend. Fog also of concern. You can see as we're going forward in our fog forecast, this is 2 a.m. on Wednesday. Still seeing fog impacting the entire state out there. And a quick look at our surf and shoreline forecast. North-facing shores are dropping for this afternoon, around 2 to 4 feet. Small pulse on south-facing shores. East-facing shores relatively small as well. Here's a quick look at your first alert 7-day forecast. We have Tuesday highlighted in red. That's today, with a chance for those pop-up showers and thunderstorms, and a little bit hazy on Wednesday. But Thursday and Friday, those trades return should blow the fog away from the state. It's still a little bit warm heading into the weekend.
Thank you, Drew. Still to come, we'll take you to the largest gin bar in the world where every sip supports the sea. We'll explain in 2 minutes. Welcome back, everybody. This is the part of the show where we want to share some good news.
And if you're looking for a furry new best friend, now's the perfect time. The Kauai Humane Society is slashing adoption fees as part of the nationwide Empty the Shelters event, which starts on Thursday. During the 2-week effort, all cats and dogs will be just $25, while seniors and long-stay pets have their fees completely waived, plus puppies and kittens, 2 for the price of 1.
Wow.
No appointments needed. Just stop by the Puhi shelter from noon to 4:30 p.m. Visit the website below to see who your new best friend could be. And finally, a British man has turned his love for gin into a spirited mission to save the world's whales.
Yeah, as Tina Kraus explains, he's opened a library not for books, but for bottles.
So it's going to be 1 part gin, okay, to 3 parts tonic.
When it comes to mastering the perfect pour, Ollie Bullock isn't just mixing drinks. He's blending passion with purpose.
With the largest gin barring collection in the world, with over 2,000 bottles from 75 countries.
Please head in that way.
His gin library is tucked away on a Portuguese island in the Atlantic, where visitors stop in to swap bottles and sit for a cause.
We came up with this idea that if you bring a gin, I'll swap it for one of the gins I make, known as the Ghosts of the Ocean Range.
For each craft gin he produces, up to $20 goes to help save whales in the region. Another $5 is thrown in for guests who stay at the library's eco-friendly hotel. This Massachusetts tourist says the trick is donating a label not already on the shelves.
We've actually tried hard to find a bottle of gin that isn't in here already, and we have failed so far.
Among the collection, a $100 gin from Kenya and a plastic bottled bargain from Ghana that Bullock calls one of the worst. But even the most humble spirits get shelf space, because here every bottle has a story and every sip supports the sea. Tina Kraus, CBS News, London.
I'm sure it's pretty difficult to find a bottle that he doesn't.
Well, if you saw that collection, for sure. Yeah. And I don't like gin, but I would drink it to support the whales.
Yeah, to support the whales. It's an honorable cause. I'm the same way. I don't like gin that much.
Yeah. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for watching This Is Now. We're going to have more headlines coming up first at 4 right here on KHNL. Aloha.